menang. Lepas tu kau celebrate kawai secepat.
Lorenzo Isaac for Tvs Nightline. Here are the headlines for tonight. Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim says stern action will be taken against extremist groups. Sarawak set to strengthen collaboration with South Korea. Sarawak Tourism Minister Abdul Karim says Sarawak could achieve target of 4 million tourists sooner than expected. The government will take firm action against extremist groups inciting violence to ensure the nation's safety remains secure. Prime Minister Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim said this in his national address earlier tonight in response to several violent incidents in recent weeks that resulted in the deaths of security personnel.
Saya ingin memberi jaminan setelah mengadakan pertemuan dengan pasukan keselamatan bahawa kita akan bertindak keras terhadap gerombolan tersebut dan insya-Allah keadaan akan bertambah tenang dan terkawal. Nampaknya ada usaha untuk mengeruhkan suasana dalam keadaan negara aman dan ekonomi mula mencatat pertumbuhan yang memberansangkan.
Sarawak is looking to enhance collaboration with South Korean companies, especially in the field of renewable energy. Premier Sarawak Dato' Pendingin Tan Sri Abang Johari Tun Openg said that with South Korea's technological expertise and Sarawak's resources, both parties could achieve a win-win situation in advancing green energy development.
He said that Sarawak, through its subsidiary SEDC Energy, will supply hydrogen and ammonia to energy companies in South Korea to support the country's energy transition to green energy.
Dan dalam perbincangan tersebut, kita akan terus berusaha untuk menandatangani kerjasama di antara Korea dan Sarawak.
Regarding his visit to Yonghyong Energy Park, he noted that the power station, which can generate up to 5,000 megawatts, will be developing an ammonia terminal. Sarawak, he explained, will be the primary supplier to this terminal. For the second phase, the power station will develop a hydrogen terminal, and Abang Johari is optimistic that Sarawak will be able to meet the demand for this energy source.
The federal government needs to establish new laws to drive the development and trade of the green energy industry. Premier Sarawak Dato' Pendingin Tan Sri Abang Johari Tun Openg revealed that currently the federal government does not have a legal framework to manage the trade of green energy industry materials. He cited logistics as an example, highlighting that specific laws are required for transportation.
Saya nampak bahawa kerajaan persekutuan belum lagi mempunyai legal parameter. Umpamanya dari sudut kita hendak transportkan hidrogen, kita nak transportkan amonia di bawah akta undang-undang. Setakat ini belum lagi. Dan saya difahamkan Menteri Ekonomi akan membentangkannya.
He added that the federal government could refer to the laws used by Sarawak to manage new energy development, taking the example of hydrogen and ammonia transport, which is referred to as transboundary transportation. Sarawak, he said, is adhering to the London Protocol.
Governor Sarawak Tun Pehin Sri Dr. Wan Junaidi Tuanku Jaafar has been appointed as the new patron of the Sarawak branch of Diabetes Malaysia NGO. Dr. William Woon, chairman of the Diabetes Malaysia Sarawak branch, stated that it is a traditional practice for the Governor of Sarawak to be appointed as the patron of the association.
We come here to personally invite him to be our patron now that the old patron is no longer.
He said this during a media interview after paying a courtesy visit to the governor of Sarawak, Tun Pehin Sri Dr. Wan Junaidi Tuanku Jaafar, and his wife Top Wan Sri Fauziah Muhammad Sanusi at Astana Negeri Sarawak earlier today. Elaborating further, Dr. Williams said Tun Dr. Wan Junaidi has essentially agreed to the appointment.
Tun did not say no, so I think he understands that this is practically a tradition that TYT is our patron.
When asked about the date of the appointment, Dr. Voon said it depends on Tun Dr. Wan Junaidi's discretion when he officially accepts the offer.
Bintulu Port Authority (BPA) donated 2 million ringgit in business zakat for the year 2024 to Tabung Baitul Mal Sarawak TBS today. The handover ceremony was officiated by BPA Board Chairman Datuk Syarkawi Alis, who presented the zakat to TBS General Manager Datu Abang Muhammad Shibli Abang Muhammad Naili. The presentation was witnessed by the Governor of Sarawak, Tun Pehin Sri Dr. Wan Junaidi Tuanku Jaafar at the Astana Negeri Sarawak.
Kita serahkan kepada pihak Baitul Mal untuk mengendalikan ataupun pembahagian zakat-zakat sebab dia orang tak tahulah di mana yang memerlukan, siapa yang memerlukan. Jadi pada kita bagi jumlah ni pada badan yang patut mengendalikan. Tapi bagi tahun ini ialah jumlah yang terbesar. Sebelum tu kita bagi sebanyak 1.5 juta untuk 3 tahun. Lepas tu 2 tahun yang lepas kita naikkan 1.8 juta dan pada tahun ini kita beri zakat sebanyak 2 juta. Jadi ada pertambahan sedikit lah.
He said this during a press conference following the 2024 Business Zakat Handover Ceremony witnessed by Sarawak Governor Tun Pehin Sri Dr. Wan Junaidi Tuanku Jaafar and his wife Top Wan Sri Fauziah Muhammad Sanusi at the Astana Negeri Sarawak earlier today. Also present were the President of the Sarawak Islamic Council, Datuk Ms. Nur Taha, and TBS General Manager, Datuk Abang Muhammad Shibli Abang Muhammad Naili.
The Sarawak government is confident it can reach its goal of 4 million tourists to Sarawak ahead of schedule. Sarawak Minister of Tourism, Creative Industries and Performing Arts, Datuk Sri Abdul Karim Rahman Hamzah, said this performance can be evaluated early due to a 25% increase in tourist arrivals from January to April this year.
He anticipates that by October this year, Sarawak will have already reached 4 million tourist arrivals.
Saya tidak terlalu memberi sasaran dari perspektif tourism receipt. Saya memberi sasaran lebih kepada jumlah pengunjung. Kalau tahun lepas kita letak 3 juta pengunjung yang akan masuk ke Sarawak. Kita dapat mencapai 3 juta itu pada bulan 10. By Disember kita sudah dapat mencapai 3.9 juta pengunjung. Jadi untuk tahun ini saya letak jumlah pendatang 4 juta. Dan melihat apa yang berlaku 4 bulan yang pertama, insyaAllah saya rasa kita akan dapat sampai ke jumlah 4 juta itu lebih awal. Saya jangka mungkin bulan Oktober kita akan dapat mencapai 4 juta itu. Dan kalau 4 juta dapat kita kecapi, jumlah tourism resitnya saja sudah lebih kurang berbelas bilion. Itulah saya melihatnya dari perspektif itu.
Previously, the ministry projected 4 million tourist arrivals with an estimated tourism revenue of 10.19 billion ringgit. From January to April this year, Sarawak saw 1.62 million tourist arrivals, generating approximately 4.17 billion ringgit in tourism receipts.
The Sarawak government is targeting a 50% reduction in extreme poverty by June 2026. Sarawak Minister of Women, Early Childhood and Community Wellbeing Development, Datuk Sri Fatimah Abdullah, said that to achieve this goal, her ministry will train family members from these groups in various skills, in addition to providing monthly assistance.
By June 2026, kita berharap dapat mengurangkan miskin tegar ini by 50%. Jun 2026. Even better kalau kita dapat hapuskan miskin tegar ini. But first we have to verify mereka sudah dapat bantuan atau tidak mengikut data yang ada pada kita. Dan cara kita akan buat satu holistic approach. Bukan saja beri bantuan bulanan, kita akan lihat ahli dalam keluarga tersebut. Misalnya anak tuan-tuan dan puan-puan ada tak yang umurnya 16 tahun, 17 tahun boleh dilatih dalam bidang kemahiran yang boleh menjana pendapatan.
She said this to reporters during the Sijamba Kasih Gawai 2024 event at a hotel earlier today. According to Fatima, her ministry will also collaborate with other ministries and agencies to provide skill training and education to this group, enabling them to generate income for themselves and their families, and ultimately lift them out of extreme poverty. Based on e-Kasih data as of May, 17,482 individuals are classified as extremely poor out of 90,214 aid recipients.
In conjunction with this year's Gawai celebration, Tvs Sarawak will present a heartwarming short film titled Homecoming. Filled with meaningful lessons and messages, the film promises to resonate deeply with viewers. According to its producer, Amirul Hafiz Muhammad Firdaus Abong, also known as Taurus, the short film, running for about 7 to 9 minutes, tells the story of a teenager named Joshua who takes up boxing and decides to move to Kuala Lumpur to pursue his dreams.
Taurus, who also stars in the main role, describes the short film as a must-watch. It offers a unique storyline featuring a special appearance by Sarawakian boxer Deloniel McDellon, also known as Kilat Boy.
Saya rasa sesiapa yang menyambut gawai ataupun tidak menyambut gawai pun boleh menyaksikan short film ini sebab ini adalah short film pertama di mana kita mencampurkan fighting sport, combat sport dan juga culture orang cakap. Sebab sebelum ni tidak pernah lagi dibuat. Kalau kita saksikan kalau kita tengok short film lain pun yang famous kita belum nampak lagi lah yang macam ni. Jadi itu adalah dia punya specialty je lah.
The premiere of Homecoming is scheduled for May 25th on TVS Entertainment Facebook page. It will then air on TVS Channel 122 on June 1st at 10:30 a.m. with rebroadcasts at 1:45 p.m. and 8:45 p.m.
Coming up right after the break, Malaysian cabinet expresses condolences to Iran. And in world news, Israeli troops kill 7 Palestinians in West Bank raid. Right here on Tvs Nightline, stay tuned.
Menang. Lepas tu kau celebrate Gawai as a champion.
Nama aja pengawal aku pada itu. Nama aja bisi.
Tahukah, aku terlalu ngemaruh.
Dan awak, awak kaya belajar.
Halik, Isnin hingga Jumaat, 3 petang, hanya di TVS.
Welcome back. Kenanga Investment Bank Berhad, Kenanga IB has upheld its export growth forecast for Malaysia at 9.4% for this year, marking a significant improvement compared to the negative growth of 8.0% in 2023. The bank expects export growth to gradually strengthen in the coming months, particularly in the second half of the year. This optimistic outlook is primarily driven by the anticipated technology upcycle and China's economic rebound, bolstered by ongoing stimulus measures from the Chinese government.
The research house noted that Malaysia's exports rebounded sharply by 9.1% in April after 2 straight months of decline, although this was below expectation, partly due to a lower base effect. However, it has maintained a cautiously optimistic outlook as the external trade outlook remains susceptible to external factors, including the adverse effects of escalating geopolitical tensions and a potential economic slowdown in the advanced economies brought about by the higher interest rates environment. At the same time, Kenanga IB continues to anticipate a sustained recovery in the manufacturing export-oriented sector alongside positive domestic demand momentum to support its gross domestic product outlook. Meanwhile, Public Investment Bank Berhad projected Malaysia's exports of goods and services to grow by 5.4% this year. It said the 2024 global semiconductor market is forecast to recover robustly, with expected double-digit growth of 13.1%, surpassing prior estimates of 11.8%.
The cabinet meeting expressed condolences to Iran following the death of President Ibrahim Raisi and his foreign minister in a helicopter crash. Communications Minister Fahmi Fadzil said the Prime Minister Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim delivered a message of condolences during today's cabinet meeting.
Dan Perdana Menteri telah merakamkan ucapan takziah dan ini adalah satu memang kemalangan yang cukup menyedihkan. Perdana Menteri menyatakan dalam 2 pertemuan yang telah beliau adakan bersama dengan Presiden Iran, jelas hubungan yang baik di antara kedua-dua negara bertambah erat.
He said this during a press conference at his ministry earlier today. Previously, Anwar said Malaysia stands in solidarity with Iran following the tragedy that claimed the lives of President Ibrahim and Foreign Minister Hossein Amir Abdullahian in the helicopter crash. Anwar also expressed that Malaysia was deeply affected and saddened by the news of the incident involving the Iranian leaders. International media had earlier reported that the Iranian president was confirmed dead after his helicopter crashed in a mountainous region of Iran. No survivors were found at the helicopter crash site.
The Ministry of Health aims to vaccinate 719,178 female students from Form 1 to 4 who missed their human papillomavirus HPV immunization by the end of the 2024 school session. Deputy Health Minister Datuk Lukanisman Awang Sauni announced that starting this month, the ministry will launch a special initiative called the HPV Immunization Catch-Up Program. This program aims to ensure all remaining students receive their HPV vaccinations before the 2024 school year ends in February next year.
Bermula pada 2010 hingga 2020, KKM secara purata berjaya mengimunisasi HPV kepada lebih 90% murid perempuan tingkatan 1 pada setiap tahun. Walau bagaimanapun, pada tahun 2021, liputan imunisasi terjejas ekoran daripada pandemik COVID-19 yang menyebabkan gangguan kepada bekalan vaksin HPV di peringkat global. Dan juga bermula pada tahun 2023, KKM mula memperolehi bekalan vaksin secara berfasa dan pada tahun 2024, bekalan HPV mencukupi untuk menampung keperluan murid tingkatan 1 hingga tingkatan 4 yang belum menerima imunisasi HPV. Sehubungan dengan itu, KKM telah mempergiatkan aktiviti pelaksanaan pemberian vaksin HPV kepada murid yang belum menerima sebarang imunisasi HPV sebelum mereka meninggalkan alam persekolahan sekolah menengah.
He said this to reporters during a press conference at the pre-launch ceremony of the HPV immunization catch-up program at SMK Pusat Bandar Puchong 1 earlier today. The program, conducted simultaneously in several schools nationwide, saw 200 female students from Forms 3 and 4 at SMK Pusat Bandar Puchong receive the HPV vaccination. The immunization aims to protect female adolescents from HPV infections that cause cervical cancer, with each student requiring only one dose of the vaccine, as determined by the Chief Health Director's Circular No. 16/2023. Lukan Isman noted that according to the latest Health Ministry data, 54,224 Form 4 students from the 2021 cohort, 220,158 Form 3 students from the 2022 cohort, 219,815 Form 2 students from the 2023 cohort, and 225,039 Form 1 students from the 2024 cohort are still pending their HPV vaccination.
Program ini sukarela. Tadi kita dah ada lihat prosedur adalah kita memerlukan kebenaran ibu bapa untuk membenarkan kanak-kanak ini menerima imunisasi HPV. Dan juga seterusnya dalam proses seperti kita jalankan dalam program vaksinasi, kita mempunyai sistem membenarkan dan sijil vaksinasi itu akan muncul di aplikasi MySejahtera. Sama ada pelajar ataupun ibu bapa.
For the record, Malaysia has been running the HPV immunization program for 14 years, since 2010. On average, the Health Ministry successfully vaccinates over 90% of Form 1 female students annually, but the program was disrupted in 2021 due to the COVID-19 pandemic.
On to world news. Israeli forces killed 7 Palestinians during a raid on Tuesday in the occupied West Bank city of Jenin, where the military said it had launched a counter-terrorist operation. The Palestinian Health Ministry in Ramallah said 9 more people had been wounded, including 2 who were in critical condition.
The Israeli military said in a statement that troops had launched a counter-terrorism operation in Jenin and they were fighting with armed men, without providing further details. Palestinian official news agency Wafa reported that among those killed was a surgeon, Usaid Jabarin, from the Jenin Government Hospital. Wafa added a school teacher and a student were also killed. Wafa further said following the raid, all schools in Jenin and in the adjacent refugee camp had been evacuated. Jenin has been a stronghold of Palestinian militant groups, and the Israeli army regularly carries out raids in the city and at the camp. The West Bank, which Israel has occupied since 1967, has seen a surge in violence for more than a year, but particularly since the Israel-Hamas war erupted on October 7. According to Palestinian officials, at least 512 Palestinians have been killed by Israeli forces or settlers across the West Bank since the Gaza war broke out. Meanwhile, at least 12 Israelis have also been killed in attacks by Palestinians in the West Bank since October 7, according to an AFP tally based on official Israeli figures.
A military transport aircraft landed in riot-stricken New Caledonia on Tuesday to evacuate stranded tourists, marking the first rescue operation since looting, arson and deadly gunfire erupted in the French Pacific territory 8 days ago. Authorities stated that passengers are being prioritized based on need, and New Zealand has dispatched a military plane to repatriate 50 passengers with the most pressing needs to Auckland. Describing the situation in New Caledonia as a dynamic, authorities said that Australia, in cooperation with France, is working on organizing additional flights in the coming days. In an effort to curb the influx of photo-seeking tourists, a Japanese town has installed a large mesh barrier at a popular Mount Fuji viewing spot. Despite the iconic mountain being visible from miles away, residents of Fuji Kawaguchiko have grown increasingly frustrated with the behavior of the predominantly foreign visitors. It was reported that these tourists often litter, trespass and violate traffic regulations in their quest for the perfect social media snapshots. Parking illegally and ignoring a smoking ban, they would cram a pavement to shoot the snow-capped mountain, which soars photogenically into the sky from behind a convenience store. See the world closer with TVS as we bring you the latest news updates both locally and internationally. For more headlines, anytime, anywhere, just head on to our official website at tvsarawak.my or follow us on our social media platforms at TV Sarawak. Those were the updates on Tvs Nightline. I'm Lorenzo Isaac. Thank you for watching and have a good night.